Devil Daggers was developed by Sorath and released on PC in February of 2016. It is a first-person shooter with a very simple premise: kill everything you see and try to survive for as long as possible. While the game starts off easy enough, things get chaotic extremely quickly. The danger starts after grabbing an item at the beginning of the game known as the Devil Dagger, which curses the protagonist and pits them against an onslaught of demons. The character is then placed into a dark arena where enemies of all different types will spawn at an almost rapid-fire rate, and keeping them managed as well as avoided is the key to surviving. The character has the ability to fight back by firing projectiles from their hand, and after collecting so many red gems that are dropped by certain enemies, they gain more power. There's also an in-game timer that can be turned on to help monitor how long the attempt has been going, but it can also be a valuable tool in knowing when certain enemies are going to spawn. And there are all sorts of enemies to deal with. A single touch from any of them and it's game over. At the beginning there is just a single enemy, known as a Squid 1, but it actually serves as a spawner of two other enemy types, the Skulls 1 and 2. Squids can be destroyed rather quickly by firing at a big red gem placed in the middle of it. As the different versions of squids are encountered, they will have more gems that need to be hit in order to get rid of them completely. The squids are also rotating, so that can make hitting the gems tricky at times. And after dealing with a few waves of these enemies, a spider will appear. And this bastard needs to be dealt with quickly because it can snatch up red gems and corrupt them, or hold them until they disappear. The corrupted gems can then turn into little spiders and attack you. There are already enough enemies to deal with, so this needs to be avoided at all costs. Plus, those red gems are crucial for making the protagonist stronger, so they're very important. These are just a few examples of the baddies that are in Devil Daggers, and as time goes on, more and more will show up that need to be dealt with. This honestly leads to some of the most heart-pounding gameplay I've ever experienced. And I've played hundreds of games over the years, and even the most intense horror action games have never made my heart go wild like this game. Devil Daggers has a leaderboard that not only shows you who the best player on your friends list is, but also around the globe. The neatest thing about this is the fact that if you click on the eye icon beside the person's name, it will play a replay of their attempt in its entirety. This can help you a lot if you get stuck and want to see what other players who have made it further than you are doing differently. I've seen a lot of guides where people say that there's only one way to play the game, but after watching several players, I can say that success can come from learning enemy patterns and from learning from previous mistakes. The controls are extremely responsive and very tight, which is super important for a game like this where every second literally counts. Devil Daggers also isn't cluttered up with a bunch of useless controls. It just has the essentials: to move, shoot, and jump. There are a few more advanced maneuvers in the shooting and jumping. If you simply click the left mouse button, then your shot will be spread out much like a shotgun blast. This helps take care of groups of enemies much quicker, but has a slight pause in between each use. Holding down the click will result in a machine gun-like use. When the protagonist gets leveled up, these attacks get much stronger. As for the jumping, there's a short bunny hop. But if the ground is shot at during this, it will lead to a rocket jump of sorts. This can help getting above and avoiding a group of demons, but it's also quite risky. I don't think I even use the jump all that much because the character moves pretty quickly and it's easy enough to kite most of the enemies around. The graphics are seemingly a throwback to 3D games from the 90s when they were still in their infancy. Even though everything has a very jagged look, it seems to fit the look the dev team was going for quite well. It reminds me of playing games like Quake when I was a kid, and I can't really complain about that. Playing with the frame rate uncapped was also kind of a must. Having VSync enabled caused the game to feel much more sluggish and nowhere near as smooth, so I just left it uncapped. It felt perfect that way. The sound design is also genius in how it's creepy and haunting. Playing with a headset is almost a must, and if not a headset, at least a surround sound setup of some sort. Being able to hear the enemies helps you know their position and can help avoiding them when they're sneaking up from behind. Certain enemies are constantly hunting you, so knowing what sounds they make and how close they are is crucial. The music is minimal in Devil Daggers, but that isn't a bad thing at all. It does only what it needs to do in order to be effective without overshadowing the game's sounds. So would I recommend Devil Daggers? At only costing $5 for what could be dozens of hours for some of the most intense and thrilling action, I most certainly would. It is extremely unique, and as long as you aren't prone to fits of extreme rage from dying in a game, then I would say to pick it up. Devil Daggers is very difficult. and reaching the 500 seconds needed to technically beat the game is a hell of a task, and one that I hadn't even come close to doing myself. And currently only a little over 120 people in the world have, but I know it'll be extremely worth the challenge.